want to talk about just some general NBA shit. But number one, do you first off, let's go over Stephen A. Smith really quickly. Let's touch on this. Do you? I didn't want to, but I will. Do you think he was wild for saying we don't, as Knicks fans, that the Knicks don't deserve Donovan Mitchell? Did you agree with that shit?
Hell no. Like I thought that was just stupid. Like, why don't we? Utah deserves him.
Let's not listen. We have disparaged Utah quite a bit. Our apologies, but why would he want to stay there? If you have anybody from Utah that watches, please let us know why would he want to stay in Utah. Not to be funny, what does Utah have to offer for Donovan Mitchell? Keep it in mind he's from New York. Always keep in mind he's from New York.
All y'all can say in Utah is like it was close to Vegas.
And I can't think of a worse place that you want a 25-year-old NBA phenom hanging out than Vegas. I can't think of a worse place. Maybe Miami. I can't think of a worse place for more trouble and issues than the Devil's Playground, as I call Vegas, because that's what it is. I don't know why you want your players anywhere near Vegas, but I hear you.
Probably the only place you can go get a haircut. Can I go to Vegas?
I just want to know, man. I do think he says things just to say things, but
it's like what has been happening the last few seasons to make you feel like we're a dysfunctional, poorly run organization? You know what I mean?
That's the thing.
Nothing. Like we've been running just fine. We have young guys that are developing. You haven't had any complaints about the front office. You haven't had any rifts between the players. That's like been public, or just like Utah, where your two best players hate each other.
Very, very well known. Very public.
Right.
Very problematic.
Right. We were in the playoffs last year. Like, what is it? They're just like, okay, well, y'all don't deserve Donovan Mitchell. First of all, I love Donovan Mitchell. But let's not act like he's like, y'all don't deserve Kobe. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're getting that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
he's
Donovan Mitchell.
He's great, but he's, there's
like,
a level of superstar. He's a tad below that.
Right. If we get Donovan Mitchell, I'm not sitting there thinking, oh, finals now. Like, no. Like,
this is not Embiid. This is not Giannis.
Right.
I mean, even Jokic, who I can't stand, is still probably that level.
If we get Donovan Mitchell, he's still the third best player in the city. Like, he ain't better than Kyrie or KD. So it's like, it ain't like, yo, we just, you know what I mean?
Unfortunately, he may be more active, more present than the other guys. But like, other than that,
we know, like, people can feel how they want about Kyrie and KD. It's like, you ain't that.
As much as I listen, I want to say we have better players too, but let's keep it a buck.
Right.
Let's keep it a buck.
Like, come on. Like, it ain't like, yo, we getting there now. Like, come on. Like, it ain't it.
I mean, it'd be a nice pickup. I mean, for sure. But like, you know what's crazy to me? I think about the Rangers, who are in the conference finals right now. No one said this shit about the Rangers.
No, they weren't same right.
Why is it not an issue for them? And more important than that, is Dolan a little troll, angry little man? Fine. Let's say he is. What has he done in the last 3 to 4 years that really has you like, the Knicks can't win?
Nothing. He's been quiet as a church mouse. Like, I just
think he has a bad rap that stays with him. I don't even think players the players aren't hearing about this. Like, you don't hear about public spats. You don't hear about behind closed doors. He's barking at people. He's not firing people. He's letting the basketball people make the basketball decisions. And for the most part, they've made decent ones. Yeah. Right? They kind of had to pay Randall, but they didn't pay him some crazy amount.
Right.
It's been rumors that they want to move him potentially, which is the rumor that should be out there because, damn it, he should probably go somewhere.
Right.
Right? They haven't made horrible draft picks. They've developed the talent that they've gotten. Obi was a great pick at the 8th pick. Right? Mitch Robinson, whether you keep him or not, was a great piece in the second round. Whether you keep him or not, it's not a bad move. You got quality at the second round of a starting center.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Exactly. One of the best defensive bigs in the league.
Clearly.
And the same thing you got with Jericho Sims.
Right.
I love Jericho Sims. I think he's a great big. Like, you know what I mean?
So I mean, you're finding that was that first the knock was, well, Dola won't stay out of the way. He stays out of the way. Well, then the knock is they don't make good draft picks. The last couple of drafts have been solid. We haven't had great picks. They've been good picks. Even the KP pick was butchered, but at the time it was probably the right pick. Looking back on it, if KP doesn't get hurt, he was killing. I mean, what it is, right? So like, I just think they get such a rap comes from us, and it's just like Stephen A. If you're supposed to be a Knicks fan, supposedly, supposed to be a lifetime New Yorker.
You're also supposed to be a black man, so.
Whoa! There you go. There you go. Murderique, man, in the flesh. That fair enough. I mean, but like it's so okay. So more Stephen A. news. Are we gonna go into? I don't also as far as disparaging the black. I can't get up. Go ahead. So going another good segue, going into his rant on Russell Westbrook. I do, although I don't like CJ McCollum that much. I think he kind of acts weird to me. I do like JJ Redick. I think he's a welcome addition to First Take.
CJ has got a lot of Chris Paul in him.
He is mini Chris Paul. I think we
company man.
He is definitely mini Chris Paul, and I that kind of bothers me. But I do think they were right in defending Russell Westbrook, because I think one thing that Stephen A. Smith does as well is he always comes off as the watchdog for black folk. And I've said it before, as black folk, we don't have to really be watchdogs on our own, because enough will do it, right? Let them do it, because I think people hide behind the critiques that black folks give other black folks to hide their own racism. Because if they can point to a black person and say, well, see, he's saying it or he's doing it, it's like, what can we say about it, right? If a black person saying it makes it think it's okay. I think Stephen A. does a lot of that. He's a lot of on the church pulpit, discouraging people. They're talking down about people. And I don't like it, because I'm just like, dude, like, why are you tearing boys down? Like, I don't get what, and I get why you do it. It's views. You were the highest paid guys at ESPN. You getting the views. Yeah. I get it. But the Westbrook stuff, I think, was unfair to Westbrook. Because imagine how hard it is if you're Westbrook. Team is talking about trading you. That's true. You go to the press conference, there's questions about you in front of you. Like that's the fact that he showed up is kind of like, at least he's trying to be a part of the team. Showing support for another black guy that got a coaching job, which is always good to see, right?
Right. And it's showing like, and it's just like JJ Redick and CJ was saying, like, it's also showing like he's all in. Like, I'm part of the team. Like, I'm still on the team. So it's just like
until I'm not.
until I'm not. Right. So it was like it's all in. You're sitting there going on a rant about how he can't shoot and he did all this. And it was like, what's that got to do with anything? They're like, what do I got to do anything on this topic?
And JJ said that he was just like, so you went on a whole rant about why is he there, and then said a whole bunch of things that had nothing to do with that.
Right.
Can you explain that point to you? And then Stephen, it was a rare moment of Stephen A. trying to backtrack and say, well, no.
Well, he started moonwalking.
What I said was, I didn't say that. And you take that back. I was just like, he was going. I was like, oh man. Dang,
and that's the whole thing. Son. And it's just like, and you know what? Like, and I know there's a lot of people that ain't Kyrie guys, but Kyrie was right when he said Stephen A. guys like him was like, y'all talk about me because I know y'all bringing ratings just by talking about me. So like, even in like Stephen A. had a show today, and he was talking about Kyrie. Like Kyrie hadn't even done anything in like weeks, and he was talking about like again why he shouldn't get paid. Like, what does that have to do with anything today? Like, it's the finals, getting ready to play. You had a press conference with the Lakers. Why is he coming up? And the same with Westbrook, and the same with, like, you know what I mean? At least Westbrook had a little bit more relevance, but then you just use that, him being out there, to attack him. And I think that's the issue that a lot of NBA players are having. It's like, you're just like, just because something came up with him, I'm going to use this moment to attack him and try to bash him and keep my ratings up, because that's what people like to hear. People don't like Westbrook, mainly because of the media. and we're just going to continue to bash him.
And it's funny because the Westbrook bashing comes on the heels of the Colin Cowherd thing, and admittedly, don't like Colin Cowherd that much. I think he's one of those guys that he toes the line. Like some of his critiques lack substance to me. It's bashing for the sake of bashing. But for him to say Westbrook doesn't make anybody better is
and John Wall
said it about John Wall too.
But
Draymond does. I'm like, you sound insane. Like you don't watch basketball. It clearly looks like it. I get that you're saying, and if you say that, Westbrook is doing things just for stats, I'll be one to tell you, sure, let's assume he does things just for stats to an extent. Fine. But let's be very clear about something. You can't find me a player who has great stats who's not aware of their great stats. Let's talk about that for a second. Don't tell me guys don't know what they're doing, what they're trying to do, how they're trying to do it. You don't think that he don't got it on his calendar marked off when he could approximately reach the milestone of getting the most points scored, Mr. LeBron James? If you think that it's not on his calendar right now, you stupid. Of course it's on his calendar. He gonna throw himself a doggone parade and talk about all this. He gonna have a media ready post. A media ready post. As soon as it happens, he gonna have a parade. He gonna have a party. He gonna have a cake. You think he not aware of that? You don't. But the fact that because Westbrook has gotten so many stats that he's only a stat chaser, look at how that dude plays. Please look at how he plays, and then tell me he don't make nobody better. He don't make your team better. The effort, the energy, the play, the showing by example stuff that he doesn't make nobody better. That's why I haven't listened to Colin Cowherd as he left ESPN. I don't want to hear what you guys say no more. It's just stop bashing these guys. You don't like them for whatever reason you
right, and that's the biggest thing. Like, because Cowherd's like a lot of media guys. Like, he takes a guy he doesn't like, and he's going to find a way to bet. Like, he hates Carmelo.
So he's hated John Wall for a long. He's been talking about John Wall. He tried saying that John Wall's bad because he ain't got his father in his life. I would never forget. Yeah. Yes, I will never forget that shit. He tried saying, "Well, John Wall didn't grow up with the presence of a father, so that hurts his leadership." I'm telling you, he said this shit. I was disgusted by it. I'm like, you don't know that man's life,
right? And even if it was true, you can't say that
because he ain't got a father. He ain't no leader. Right. She should come on your show and smack you in the mouth.
But you know what's crazy? They'll call LeBron one.
Where he learned it from.
Right.
I'll admit Colin Cowherd, black fathers being president is important in the black community. But how did LeBron become a leader without one? Like, just
right. Because he's such a great leader. You know what I mean?
And most people would tell you, no, Bush, I don't want to shit on LeBron. All he would tell you, playing with LeBron is tough. It's not as easy as like that's why I like the non-yes men teammates he had to be like, yo, man, it's tough playing with LeBron, man. It's real tough. Like it ain't all happy times. Like, it's tough, man. Shit.
Yeah. KD called it playing with LeBron a toxic environment. And everybody went in on KD. He was like, what? How could you say that? Blah, blah. Like he's been right.
And then you start hearing from players being like, I love Bron, but it's kind of tough, and you don't get none of the credit, you get all the blame. Like, I mean, I just look at what's happened to other Hall of Fame players that have played with him. You almost look at Chris Bosh as a goddamn footnote in the NBA. He was a star player. He was a killer.
He was averaging like 25 and 12 before he got to Miami.
Like, he was a beast. He was the guy. Dwayne Wade was the guy. All y'all remember is LeBron throwing them alleys and being amazing. That's all y'all remember now. It's crazy how that changed because you play with LeBron. So, yeah, nah. I just, like I said, but yeah, going back to that, like the whole like calling him in a leadership because of some nonsense like that. That bothers me, man. I think in general, this space needs somewhat of a revamp. That's why I'm happy to see more athletes getting into this space to provide a different perspective. Yeah, Pat Bev is a treasure. He a hater. He 100% hater, but he a treasure because he's gonna say how he feel. Even if it's hate, it's how he really feel. I can respect that. I can respect that.
He said ops on ESPN the other day. He's like, I don't really. He said something like, "Yeah, they the ops." I mean, my bad. Like that's Chicago coming out of me, but they're the opposing team.
They had the opposing team.